Hello, my name is Nathan Count, and I'm going to do this presentation analyzing and critiquing three websites that discuss artificial intelligence in the education world. This first article is titled AI in the Future of Teaching and Learning, Defining Artificial Intelligence. This article is a blog post by the Office of Tech Ed through the United States government. It provides three definitions for AI. The first definition is the human-like capabilities to converse, reason, and act. In this article, they contend that AI interacts in a human-like way with users. AI education software, like the math software Alex, uses AI to generate reports and create a knowledge space for users to interact and learn with. And this is from a report done by Kosin et al. In 2021. They contend that AI, almost like IBM Watson, that was popularized in television commercials, or in the movie Space Odyssey, the computer HAL. They interact and they talk and they reason. You have conversation with them, and this is the popularized media version of what artificial intelligence is like. And in the educational spectrum, this would how it appears, how it manifests, talking with students, interacting with students, whether as a chat bot or a video bot or something like that. The second definition they provide is that AI is an agent pursuing a goal. So this is when AI acts independently towards a goal. This can be generating choices for teachers to choose from, or creating an instructional activity based off of previous data that the intelligence system is analyzing and processing and making decisions out of that. Freeman et al. In 2021 said AI can process data and make database decisions to ease teacher workloads. So imagine using AI to generate schedules for students in the high school based off assessment data. Based off their previous years, how they perform. This generates a schedule for staff and students, which eliminate a difficult task for staff. However, let's say a parent has a student that they think should be ranked higher or they should be doing better, and the software puts them in a lower level class. This makes for a difficult conversation that has to take place. Or, for example, a student has anxiety or was sick the day before, all these things that whatever could invalidate the source of data. So the text makes note of that. They say human context is a critical part of decision making, and AI cannot provide that human ability to sense and provide depth of context to an educational decision making situation, which arrives at the logical conclusion using intelligence augmentation. So this is when it assists human intelligence rather than replacing it, that human intelligence and decision-making abilities, not fully replacing them. This can be used to alleviate teacher workloads by recognizing patterns in data and recommending decisions that teachers may not have the intellectual bandwidth or time to properly make. Intelligence augmentation may be safer due to humans still being in charge and not relying fully on the AI software to take lead of the decision-making process. This second article is talking about digital citizenship, specifically focusing on screen time. So, talking to children early about screen time is a very important um, part of developing that awareness of excessive screen time. So, would you wait until high school to teach a child to brush their teeth or to potty train them? Developing any habit is critical for this to happen early on, right? Obviously, you wouldn't wait that long to develop these things that are critical to a child's development. You want this to happen early. Same thing for the screen time in the digital age that we live in. So, developing these habits and conversations in young children about screen time, digital literacy, digital citizenship, how to protect their privacy online is critical, especially as a study by Common Sense Media published by Rideout and Robb in 2020 has found 93% of children aged 2 to 4 spend time on mobile media, at least some form of time. That same study emphasized the importance of engaging in early conversations with children about screen time, since by the age of 5, over half of children age 5 to 8 own a mobile device of some kind. Now, This building digital citizenship and awareness doesn't have to happen with a digital device. This can be fostered through simple ways. You see a billboard on the side of the road and you say, "Hey, who do you think made that?" And ask your child, okay, where is that media coming from? Who makes it? And what bias could they bring in to the media they make, and how that could impact the media they make? That not only fosters a good awareness of digital citizenship, but also brings in critical thinking skills that is good to develop, not just in the digital world, but outside of it as well. Online safety is an important skill as well to develop in children. Children need to know that their private information needs to be protective, and they need to be aware of the content they engage with. Ads are curated to attract attention, whether from an adult, whether from a child, whatever that might be. But if a child clicks on that, they can be pulled into a phishing scheme. They can be pulled into other forms of malicious online content. You can have viruses on your computer, whatever that might be. But parents need to be aware of what sites are on and how often they're on them. This article discusses a popular game called Roblox that's built for children, but has a chat feature. Not many parents know that, oh, you can turn the chat feature off. Being aware of what technology our child are using, be aware of what controls that you can implement to limit uh, their ability to have to make proper decisions by eliminating some of the possible pitfalls for them is an important part, and well, as parents take an active role in building those digital citizenship skills as part of being an ethical member in the online community. This last article, now, we talked about how children function online. Now this talks about the impact that grandparents have. So increased use of the technology and digital devices leaves senior citizens feeling isolated and alienated from society, as especially in the post-COVID world. As we go increasingly digital, normal things that would have had a paper option before are now having to be forced online. Things like healthcare information being only available through an online portal, making appointments, seeing their records, doing follow ups, all of that's only online, which forces some senior citizens to have to learn and maybe not even be able to do so. The blog post that is written that I'm talking about here, this lady, her mother is 89 years old and she's hard of hearing, and she has the new hearing aids, really nice hearing aids, but they have to be linked to a smartphone. And so she talks about having to Zoom call with her brother, and her brother's the one having to help her grandmother set up the app on her phone and do all of this. And she just reflects on how difficult that was for her mom. And she says her mom is an above average cell phone user. Uses emojis, is able to text, is able to FaceTime. Whereas some people that are that age don't even want to have a phone and interact with a phone at all. So just talking about how this increased digital world really leaves some senior citizens isolated. Being able to access banking information or things like that, or even going to a restaurant and only having a QR code for a menu. And later on in that blog post, her point that she makes in being an ethical educator in the tech world is to promote inclusivity. As she teaches, and not only her, but us as well as educators, as we teach the future program engineers, software engineers, coders, and innovators, we need to advocate for inclusivity in their design. Tech ethics needs to be taught to these students that, okay, you're trying to build this, but don't build this to be used by someone your age, someone of your background, some of your kind. Like, build it for everyone else. Build it so that your great grandmother could be able to access this. Build this to where it's aware of being a part of this responsible digital citizenship. It's really important as we start to build the gap and bridge the gap for um, the next generation, that we try and work with students and with people around us, that to build a better world, we need to have inclusivity in our design, digital ethics in our design, and work to help that happen.